Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new class, and it's been a while. Okay, it wasn't really intentional. Okay, I know I've been away for some time. The goal was to drop these tutorials back to back every day, but something good happened to me, and it has just been amazing, and it has somehow taken me off. Okay, all right. I became a trainer at Aptech, and that is a very good one for me because I really love teaching and. Actually a good platform for me. So getting there's a whole lot of work. I was giving 3 classes. Okay, and one thing with me is that I like preparing for my classes. So it is really taking a lot of my time, but I will still find a way to continue with this because this is the goal. The goal is to help you guys. Okay, basically because of my journey so far in the software development. The journey has been crazy for me the way I started, and I also hope that I also believe that there are a lot of people out there who also have this rough start, and their journey is also rough. So I'm just here to ease, all right, ease the stress, ease the troubles, and help you guys out. So now, I will try my best, okay, as much as I can to be dropping these videos, okay. My plan was to be doing it every single day, but in case I do not meet up, no problem, okay. But I hope you guys know about the free course that will be the live classes that we'll be having, okay. We are just trying to create a class, and by the end of this month, okay, today is first. By the end of this month, we'll be closing the class, and we'll be having live classes. That will start from June. We'll be having live classes instead of just video like this. We'll be having live classes where all these things that we teach that I drop in the videos, okay, we'll do them live, and you guys will see to ask questions and then see live how programming really works, okay. And the goal will be at the end of it to create a software, an ATM machine software. So we'll be creating a console application, but that will be when we are done with that programming language. Before we now enter Flutter, we'll be creating an ATM machine software, okay, and we'll be developing it together in those live classes. So make sure you subscribe. That's the criteria. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you watch these videos and drop your comments, okay, like. Moreover, if you do not like, that means you don't, if you don't like the video, that means you don't like what I'm doing. So there's no need being here anyways. Okay. So, but if you like it, drop your comments. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Drop your comments. Okay. Everybody should share their comments. Like the video if you like. Share the video. Invite your friends. Okay. Subscribe to the channel because this is a huge project. Okay. This is a very big project. And I will be having a Zoom meeting with you guys, okay, where I will be sharing the vision, why I am doing this, and what you yourself is going to benefit from this, okay. So this is actually a big project in as much as we are starting slow, okay, but it's actually a big project. 5 to 10 years from now, the Black Wizard community is going to be something that the world will be like, wow, who are these guys? So there's a big project coming up, and we just have to do this together. And drop your comments, what you don't like, what you like the videos, all the videos that you have been watching so far. Go back, like them, subscribe, share your comments, okay. It wouldn't be because I work so hard to drop these things for free. Okay, combining this thing with my job and everything is actually too tough for me. But I'm dedicated to this. Okay, you guys are my responsibility. Chat me up at any time. Ask people who are chatting me up already. I respond immediately. Drop your comments. I respond to your comment, even though it might not be immediately. But I am dedicated to you guys. You guys are my responsibility. So, without further without talking too much, I would want us to go straight to the class of today, okay? Now, today we'll be talking about classes, okay? We'll be talking about classes. And there's something I want you guys to understand about classes, especially in that programming language, okay? Somehow, classes in that programming language is actually different from other programming languages. But first of all, what is a class, okay? Okay, first of all, what is a class, okay? Now, before we jump into that, I would want us to also maybe just talk a little bit about what is object oriented programming, okay? All right. Now, the thing is this, if you don't understand object-oriented programming, understanding classes will be very difficult for you, okay? So now look at it this way. Before object-oriented programming concept came in, okay, before they started object-oriented programming, it was functional. Now, this is how it was done before. A full program, okay, let's say you want to write an ATM machine program, okay, they were using mainly those days functional programming. What does it mean? A full program like a software application, an ATM application, they will break it down to functions, okay? You know, the full program, they would break the whole program down to function. They would decompose it, yes. Decomposition was mainly the key then, okay? They would decompose it into different functions, so making it easier for the program to be developed, okay? A full program, imagine, okay, let's take a look at your whole body, okay? Your whole body is a whole body, but inside your body, we have organs, right? No, we have systems, right? Sorry if I don't get this thing. It's been a long time I did biology, okay? So we have system, which is your whole body. Inside the system, we have organs, okay? Inside the organs, we have tissues, right? I believe I'm correct. Inside the tissues, we now have cells. Okay, in case I missed anything, no problem. Drop in the comment section. You can actually help us, okay? Tell us exactly, if I didn't get it, tell us exactly how it is. We have the system, which is the whole body. We have organs, and we have tissues, and we have cells. Now, cells are the smallest units, okay? They make up the tissues. Now, the tissues, plenty of the tissues now make up the organ. Plenty organs, your liver, your kidney, all right? They now make up your respiratory organ, your reproductive organs, they now make up the whole system. You can see how your whole body, which is just one system, was decomposed into organs, tissues, and down to cells. So the cells, when you now look at the functional program or the decomposition, the cells are now the functions. So these small functions will come together to build up to something like the tissues, okay? Now the tissues will build up to something like the organs will now build up to a system. This is how it was done. But the thing is this paradigm was really tough. So some people now came up with object-oriented programming. When they talk of object-oriented programming, some people get scared. Don't be scared. All you have to do is to understand the concepts. When I teach my students, even at Aptech, when I teach my students, I try to teach them the concept. If you understand the concept, writing the program or the code will not be an issue. So you need to understand the concept. Object-oriented programming, just like the name starts with object, a real program, just like the software program, is seen as a collection of objects. Okay, that is the object-oriented. Now, it is object-oriented because the whole system, the whole program, the whole software is seen as a collection of objects. Now, let's take a look at the ATM machine. Okay, let's take a look at the ATM machines. I want in the comment section, when we take a look at, you want to develop a software like ATM machine, what objects do you see? Type in the comment section and tell us, what objects do you see, okay? Now, let me break it down for you. In the ATM machine software, there is a user who will be using the software, right? So it's an object, okay? There is the user's account. It's an object. I don't know if you get me now, okay? Now, the user might come from another bank to use another ATM machine. That bank is an object too. Okay, this is how the whole system is broken down into objects. When you go further, you can see a whole lot of objects inside, okay? Now, when we now talk of objects, we are talking of objects in the sense that an object is something that has properties and also have functions, okay? An object will have properties. A user, let's continue with the example of the ATM machine. A user would have a name, a first name, a last name, maybe account balance. These are the properties, okay? These are the properties of this user, all right, that you're interested in. The properties that will interest you about this user object, their name, their phone number, maybe their PIN, yes, their password. These are the things, these are the properties that will be of interest to you. Okay, now what of the functions? A user can withdraw money, right? That's a function. Okay, a user can change their password. That's a function. Okay, all right. A user can do anything. Whenever you say a function is whenever you have maybe a verb. Okay, that's a function. A user can do this. A user can withdraw money. A user can save money. A user can credit. A user can transfer. You understand? So these are functions that the user can actually perform, okay, with this ATM machine program. Do you understand it now? So the object there is the user. The user have properties. So an object will have properties and functions. Okay, so the user has properties like their name, their phone number, their password, whatever their PIN. Okay, then the function that they can perform with this machine is they can withdraw money, they can deposit money, they can transfer money, they can change their password. These are functions. Okay, so this is it. Now, if you really understand what I have just said now, I want you to drop in the comment section. Give us an example of an object. All right. Look at the world around you. Give us an example of an object. Drop it in the comment section. Okay. Now, that is the concept of object. So when we talk of object-oriented programming, we are looking at the whole system as a real world system which is made up of objects. So we break them down into objects instead of breaking them down into functions, like the functional programming, like composing everything into functions. Okay, so object-oriented programming, we are seeing everything like an object. That is what we are seeing. Okay, when you want to develop maybe an e-commerce application, the user there is an object. The cat, as in the cat, is an object. The order is an object. Do you understand it? Okay, so the person's address might be seen as an object too. Okay, depending on how you want to, depending on the logic, your business logic. These are the things that you can see as objects. So look around you. You can see that anything that has properties and that can perform some functions, these things are objects. So this is how we see objects in object-oriented programming. I believe you get that. If you don't, please drop in the comment section. Tell me what you don't understand so that I can explain more. Okay. Now, imagine when we have in ATM machine application, you might have 1 million users of that ATM application. Okay, you might have 1 million users. So now, are you not going to be creating the same thing for all of them? No, it will be tedious. That is why we have a class. Okay, now imagine that a class is like the blueprint. That's the best definition. It's been a long time I saw this definition, and that's the best definition I've seen. Okay, it is the blueprint for creating objects. A class is like a blueprint for creating objects. If you want to build your house, you will first of all get an architect that will then design the blueprints. Okay, all right. So the architecture of objects, okay, that's what we use class for. Okay, class is like the blueprint. Okay, now if an architect gives you a design, okay, the blueprint, that same building, you can go to you can build that same building 100 times, 1 million times with the same blueprint. So whoever will be building the house will be using the blueprint as a reference. So a class, or we use classes to design the blueprint, the architecture of our objects. So when we start building the houses with the blueprint, that is the objects we are building. So when I have a user class, okay, when I have a user class, all right, I can create different users from the same blueprint, from the same class. I can have John, okay, I can have Fumilayo Ogundale. Okay? Sorry if I don't get the name. I can have Musa Ahmed. And these are different users. These are different users of this application. But I will just use the same blueprint to create instances of all of them. So when you come to object-oriented programming, an object is an instance of a class. Remember, the class is the blueprint, and the object is what you're building with the blueprint. So an object is an instance of a class. Okay, to drive this home, let's create an object. Okay, to drive this home, let's create an object. Sorry, let's create a class. Let's still continue with the user class. Okay, all right. how do you create a class? You use this keyword class, then let's give it user, and then with this curly braces like this. Okay, a class can have a constructor. We will come to that later. All right, with your semicolon. Then a class can have properties. Let's say first name, first name, first name. Okay. Let me spin. Okay, let's just take this. Okay, so the program is actually telling me there are some errors, but let me sort this error. So I'll just have to remember the name parameters that we talked about when we're talking about functions. Remember the name parameters we talked about and making them required. So I would need this field to be required. Okay, all right, so don't worry, we'll talk more of this later, but I just want to create a class, so just watch me do what I'm doing. Okay, watch me do what I'm doing. Okay, so now this is a blueprint for creating classes. That means I can create 1 million objects, 1 million instances of this particular blueprint. Okay, so how do I do it? Now let me create an object, an instance here. You remember variables, okay? You remember variables. So, okay, now basically a class is a user-defined data type. Remember when we talked about data types, okay? We discussed the int, the number, the float, the double, we discussed the string, okay? Now the Boolean, these are primitive data types. So you can also create your own data type. Now you can create your own data type by using classes. So I am creating my own data type. This is a user-defined data type. So every variable will have a data type. So I want to create a variable, and the data type is this user class that I have created, and I will call it Musa. Okay, because this object is going to be particular to Musa. So I say user Musa equal to, I will use the user, okay, and end with your semicolon. Now, but the thing is that you must pass in your first name because it is required. If not, there will be a problem. I'll call it Musa, and Musa's pin would be, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now, this is an object. I have created a Musa object. I have created a Musa. This is a user of this application. Okay, I believe I'm not confusing you, but if you get confused, please drop in the comment section. Tell me why you're confused, okay, so that I can really clear it. Okay, now if I now want to print Musa's first name, I can just say use this Musa object. This Musa object is a variable, just like we have been using other variables. Always remember to end your statement with a semicolon. So if I run this program now, Musa will be printed out. All right, you can see Musa is printed out. Okay, you can see. So I can also create another instance. Just like I said, you can use this blueprint you can use a blueprint, a blueprint for a house, and create, let me do Simi, okay? And you can use it to create as many as possible. So you can see, I can see, say, Simi first name, and when I run this code, I'm going to get Simi. So we have created 2 different objects, 2 different instances of this our class. It is not hard. Please don't ever think whatever I'm saying here is hard. All right, have that mentality. All right, so talk to me in the comment section. Drop your comment. What is difficult for you, what you don't understand, and I would I would make you understand better. So I'll be stopping this video here. I wouldn't want it to be too long. So we'll continue with class, explaining what classes are, okay? And I'm going to continue in the next class. So see you in the next class.